Hello everyone, this is the programme Capital Ideas Life and I'm the host, Mike Gibson. New Year and Christmas are coming soon. The capital of Russia is covered in white snow and decorated with bright lights. Moscow is especially beautiful in winter. Today in our programme we will tell you how the city is preparing for the New Year holidays and what winter entertainment Moscow offers to its residents and guests of the capital.
Today on the programme, New Year's market in the heart of the Russian capital. Europe's largest ice skating rink. Bathing in an ice hole. Tens of thousands of lights to decorate Moscow.
The main New Year's city entertainment is located right at the heart of Moscow on Red Square. In winter, an ice rink is built here and a festive fair opens. Woo.
The ice rink on Red Square is 2,700 square meters. It is a picture-perfect ice rink in a historic setting. It's open from 10 a.m. until 11 p.m. You need to buy a ticket to enter, but if you come here on a weekday with your own skates, you can get in for a free session. Sports activities in the frosty, fresh air in the heart of the Russian capital, against the background of the Kremlin and the GUM building, are accompanied by New Year tunes from Soviet and Russian movies.
Wow.
It's a fairy tale.
Woo.
It's the best ice rink in the world.
Oh.
Simultaneously, 450 people can be on the ice rink. Here we can find young amateurs of winter sports and experienced figure skaters.
Wow.
Hello!
Wow, this is a real Russian winter. Fabulous. Woo.
The Red Square skating rink is now in its 17th year. It is part of the traditional New Year's fair, which is opened every winter by the legendary Moscow GUM store located nearby. The choice of the place for the fair is not accidental. For many centuries, Red Square was one of the main shopping areas in Moscow, where the townspeople not only made purchases, but also celebrated holidays. Today, at the New Year's fair, just as people did centuries ago, you can buy goods of Russian national crafts, souvenirs, Christmas toys, and treats.
In winter, especially on New Year's Eve, I want to feel like a child again. So why wait? Let's go for a ride on this attraction.
Almost all of the attractions can be enjoyed not only by children, but also by adults. This year at Red Square, there are several rides, including the double-decker carousel, the chain carousel, and one of the favorite rides of Muscovites and guests of the capital, the balloons.
And from here, there's an amazing view of Red Square and the Kremlin.
New Year's rides in the centre of the Russian capital are especially pleasant and unusual. After all, other city merry-go-rounds and amusement parks are usually closed at this time of year in Moscow. If you come to the Kremlin on December the 31st in the evening, with a bit of luck, you might greet the new year spinning on a merry-go-round above Red Square.
Traditionally, on New Year's Eve, tens of thousands of Muscovites and guests of the capital gather here on Red Square to watch the fireworks. But it's best to arrive in good time because there will be loads of people here.
Celebrating the new year in Red Square is a dream not only for tourists, but also for residents of the capital. For many Moscow families, this is already a great tradition. Everyone who goes for a walk in the center of the capital on the night of the 31st go here to see the festive fireworks on Russia's most famous square.
1, 2, 3. On a magical night, the chimes of the Spassky Tower strike 12. And after that, the new year arrives. For those who are not afraid of real Russian winter and frost, Moscow has prepared the most extreme entertainment. Swimming in an ice hole. And those people that love to swim in icy water are called walruses. And in Moscow, there are many such people, and I am one of them.
Cold water swimming started to gain popularity in the Soviet Union in the early 50s. In 1959, in Serebrenny Bor, in the west of Moscow, cold water bathing and winter swimming section number 1 was created. This association of enthusiasts of swimming in ice holes still operates here. Today, the Serebrenny Bor Club opens its 64th winter swimming season.
The 64th season of winter swimming is now officially declared open.
The chief indicator of the start of winter swimming is the thickness of the ice. It should be thick enough to stand on it safely. The members of Serebrenny Bor Club prepare for winter swimming both individually and together. They come to the club, heat the stove in the house, where they can change clothes and get warm, and literally cut out an ice pool for swimming.
Today we have the most gorgeous weather conditions we could hope for to open the season. There's a light frost, it's snowing, all are in good spirits and it's generally beautiful weather. Of course we could use some sun, but for us the so-called walruses there is no bad weather.
How does one properly prepare an ice hole?
How to prepare an ice hole correctly? We mark it out, then we cut through. You use either a finished saw or a crowbar. Then we make it with slabs like these and drive more ice under the ice, which will support just around the place below.
Oh, interesting.
And so on that side we have boards spread out, so that a person who swims up to that edge can turn around and push off, like in a swimming pool. We always have lifeguards on duty when the club is open. So yes, safety is our top priority.
Experienced swimmers say that in this sport, 2 things are important: preparation and careful attention paid to your sensations. When swimming in ice water, it is not necessary to set records. It is necessary to remember about health, and of course, it is critical to avoid hypothermia. Swimming for more than 20 minutes at such low temperatures is not advisable, but short swims in icy water, according to the walruses, strengthen and revitalize the body.
It's better to start preparing at home by taking a cold shower or a contrast shower for a couple of weeks. It is better to start with your feet. After 2 weeks, you are ready to come and start your first open water dive. We always have experienced walruses nearby who will keep you company, tell you how to do it correctly and accompany you up to the dip. Today we have guests from Abkhazia here just for the first dive. Wash your face and your neck a bit. Don't rush it. Come in slowly. Give your chest a rinse. That's it. Breathe easy. And swim. Beautiful. Swim a little bit. Breathe out there. Good job. That's how you do your first dive. Come swim, have fun, feel the positive energy, get healthy. Cold water is a pot of good spirits and health. Let's take advantage of it.
Great! According to the walruses, it is here in the west of Moscow that the water is the cleanest and, as they say, the softest. According to a Moscow legend, several centuries ago, silver was mined here. Then Bezdony, a lake, appeared on the site of the mine, and the forest around it was called Serebryny Bor. Exactly here, more than 10 years ago, for the first time, I plunged into the icy water of Moscow, and since then, I do it regularly. So, let's go and swim. According to the walruses, it is best to increase the time spent in the icy water gradually, from session to session. Some members of the club, Serebryny Bor, can be in the ice for quite a long time and can swim more than a kilometre. My record is 600 metres. However, this time I swam for 7 minutes and 16 seconds. Wow. That's extreme. So extreme.
Another centre of festive entertainment in Moscow is the famous Vinnytsia. Last year, our film crew and I filmed here during the summer. And now it's time to find out what festive surprises the park has prepared for us this winter.
Though familiar to all Muscovites, the buildings of the exhibition pavilions, historical lampposts and alleys are changed beyond recognition in winter. For 2 weeks, the entire territory of Vinnytsia exhibition is decorated with garlands of light, New Year's sculptures and toys hung in the trees. At the entrance to the territory of the exhibition, guests are welcomed by a beautiful 13-metre tall artificial fir tree. New Year's trees of different height are placed near most of the pavilions. The exhibition of achievements of the national economy is ready to present a festive atmosphere to all Muscovites and numerous tourists. For many years, Vinnytsia has been one of the main places of the Russian capital where it is definitely worth spending a New Year's Eve. What will be here for the New Year?
On New Year's Eve, the exhibition is open round the clock, so we expect a large flow of visitors, because the exhibition has always been the main attraction on New Year's Eve. There will be an ice rink open till 3 a.m. On the skating rink, on the main avenue near the Pavilion of Industry, there will be programs. There'll be master classes, ice shows, immersive shows, performances of figure skaters, some very beautiful performances. And circus artists also nice, so people who come to the rink will see a lot of interesting and beautiful performances here.
And will there be a lot of people here?
Yes, we're expecting a big flow of people here. Last year it was about 200,000. We're expecting about 5,000 people at the skating rink, but we have no doubt that there will be a huge traffic flow, because it's going to be very beautiful and everybody will think it's a must to visit Vinnytsia and walk around surrounded by New Year's symbols and celebrate it here.
And after the New Year, are there any holidays? What will be here?
Yes. In Russia we celebrate from New Year's Eve to Orthodox Christmas Day. Our Christmas week is a vacation week, and every day will also be filled with events. There will be children's Christmas trees and special performances for children in Industry Square. There will be also immersive children's shows in the Center of National Traditions, near the Cosmos Pavilion. And of course there will be an ice show every day and also other performances, so that people can come here and feel the atmosphere of a holiday.
The skating rink at Vinnytsia is the main attraction for residents and guests of the capital in winter. It is the largest not only in Moscow and Russia, but also in the whole of Europe, and occupies more than 53,000 square meters together, including all its infrastructure. The area of the artificial ice is a little more than 20,000 square meters. The rink is situated on the main avenue of Vinyaka and around the famous Friendship of Nations fountain. If you look at the rink from a bird's eye view, it is shaped like a key. It takes almost 2 months to build this huge and technologically complex structure. Can you tell me how this ice rink was built?
We started building this rink on October 1st, and in 55 days we opened it up. Before we start construction, it's just an asphalt area for people to walk on, with fountains, with all sorts of amenities. We sand down the surface, essentially leveling it, so that it could be perfectly smooth. We are putting automats under the ice, and we are laying the ice mats. We are going to use them to feed the collodome, ethylene glucose. We put rolling pavilions on a wooden foundation. That's it. We do not damage the surface. We do not dig anything into the asphalt. We make podiums for visitors. We put out cash registers. We put up modular buildings. We lay a bunch of wires. We install temporary decorative lighting. We also put up under-ice illumination.
How long does it take to assemble the ice?
The ice itself depends on the weather. That is, until the preparation activities are finished. We freeze the ice for 10 to 14 days. That is, you can only freeze 1 centimeter of ice a day if the temperature is in the positives, and we need at least 10 to 15 centimeters. For this purpose, we have 11 refrigerator units, which cool the liquids which are used to cool the ice.
More than 4,500 people can skate here at the same time. Every day there are 2 sessions. In the morning it lasts 4 hours, in the evening 6 hours. Between them there is a 2-hour technical break. Due to the large number of people on skates, the upper layer of ice quickly wears out, so it needs to be smoothed and polished regularly. And then, how do you maintain the ice?
We have a daily 2-hour break and all night at our disposal, from 10 to 11 p.m. until 10 a.m. We polish, restore the ice surface and clean the snow, shavings, and then you can skate.
Interesting. Are there any tricky moments?
The tricky part, as always, is the weather. Large snowfalls are problematic. That is to clean the snow and not to interfere with people skating at the same time, to keep the ice in good condition. And also, if the weather is in the positives, then you need to keep a closer eye on the ice to keep it in good condition.
Up to what temperature can the ice rink operate?
If there's no bright sunlight, then the ice will stay frozen up to +7 to 8 degrees.
I see, but not more than that.
More than that, the ice will be still on the bottom, and the top will accumulate puddles. That is, the surface will be wet.
There are several pavilions attached to the rink, next to the ice, with warm rooms where you can change your clothes. They have lockers, a food court, restaurants, a rest area, and everywhere you can keep your skates on. The ice itself is divided into several zones: the main alley, the main circle, and the inner circle, and the so-called Lovers' Alley. On weekends and holidays, the rink can be visited by up to 12,000 fans of winter entertainment every day.
And this ice rink is huge! And it's so beautiful.
When it gets dark in the city, the ice rink begins to glow with a multitude of colourful lights. The wooden footbridge, which was laid over the skating area, has an unusual shape in the form of multi-coloured shimmering waves and is illuminated in such a way that it resembles the northern lights. The ice itself under the skates also glows, It has a special backlight built in, made up of a total of more than 140,000 bulbs.
During the winter holidays, the whole of Moscow begins to glow with tens of thousands of multicolored lights. Not only the central streets, but the entire city is decorated with Christmas garlands and light arrangements. It's very beautiful.
In total, more than 4,000 New Year's structures were mounted and installed in the city. This arch, tunnels, light compositions and a variety of garlands all use LED lights, which not only save energy but also withstand the ever-changing weather conditions of the Russian capital. After all, some days, fluctuations in the daily temperature in Moscow can reach more than 15 degrees.
We are now in Novopushkinsky Square. This is where the Ark is being assembled. The Ark is from the Light Architecture series. There will be 9 similar structures scattered throughout Moscow. Most of them will be located along Tverskaya Street, in Tverskaya Square, Manezhny Square, Gazetny Pereulok, and so on. This particular Ark in Novopushkinsky Square is almost 18 meters in height. It closely resembles the facades of Moscow theaters. That is, you can guess the classic rises and falls of Moscow theater roofs in it. The principle of assembling these arches is, on one hand, fairly straightforward, but on the other, quite complex. To begin, a concrete base is poured. Then guide frames made of metal are installed, and only after that the so-called consoles are hinged to the structure itself. These consoles are made up of light bulbs. These consoles are pre-tested in storage rooms, making sure that all lights work properly and that all the circuits are in good condition. And now you can see it for yourself. When the installers screw these consoles in, adhering to the schematics, we get a New Year's Eve picture of light.
Previously, all the light structures in Moscow were lit at the same time on a certain day. This year, it was decided not to wait until the installation of all objects to turn on the multicolored LED structures, as they were ready in different parts of the city at different times.
And of course, there are thousands of bright Christmas trees all around the city.
Traditionally, the capital's main Christmas tree decorates Cathedral Square in the Kremlin, but literally every street in Moscow has its own unique Christmas tree. In total, there are more than 1,000 of them installed around the city.
This year's New Year's decorations will be similar to last year's. In Moscow, there will be decorative designs of lights installed on the Christmas trees. More than 1,000 Christmas trees will be installed in Moscow, paid for by the city as well as under the sponsorship program of commercial organizations. In the city, the center of the capital, large light arches will be installed. An illuminated marquee alongside a Christmas tree arrangement will appear in Lubyanka Square, and the Manege Square will also feature an illuminated marquee. In park areas there will be light structures in the shape of Christmas ornaments, bears, various animals and New Year's symbols.
Decorations for Christmas trees, as well as many light installations in Moscow, are not disposable. They are used from year to year. Some installations already have a traditional place assigned to them, and some like to move. For example, these polar bears spent winters in different Moscow parks, Yaouza, Sokolniki and Gorky Park. When the holiday season is over, all the light structures are dismantled and taken away for storage in a special warehouse.
This warehouse is used for storage after the previous holidays. Constructions are brought here. The warehouse is kept warm because the structure is exposed to the sun. It is used for storage until autumn. In the autumn period, repair works begin. These start with determination of the scope of repair works and accordingly restoration, bringing the structures to a suitable condition. Then after repairs, the structures are taken to addresses in Moscow for installation in parks, streets and squares.
Winter in the Russian capital is bright, snowy and comfortable. and not only during the New Year's and Christmas holidays, but from the beginning of December to the end of February. To a large extent, this effect is achieved thanks to the numerous light structures and festive illuminations with which Moscow streets, squares, and parks are decorated.
Winter in the Russian capital is especially interesting and very beautiful. Be sure to come here during the New Year holidays and you'll discover a fabulous Moscow. I'm Mike Gibson. See you